Thank you so much for coming here. Let me tell you the true motivation to have people like you to come to our offices. We're a small media house, but to have important people like you to come here, Honorable Minister, gives us all the joy to do what we do. Thank you very much. I'm not going to say much because my journalist colleagues will beat me up, so please, back to the journalist colleagues.
Well, I here with a delegation to visit. Well, the minister has been having meetings with stakeholders in the media industry in order to solve.
We were threatened several times during this campaign. We were labeled as opposition political newspaper. But I think you remain focused, because for you to know about APC, it was about Nigeria. And we promise that we will not disappoint you. Aminiya, just like other newspapers, are very powerful influences because they have more followership than national newspapers. National newspapers might be more glamorous, but clearly we know for a party like us that rode on the back of the common people, we know the importance of paper, of publications in indigenous language. Like I was telling the CEO there, every politics is local. Therefore, when you can harness the assets of a local newspaper like this, you go very far. So I thank you very much. I'm not unaware too that papers like Aminiya and Co. are often not remembered when it's time for patronage. Wrongly, I think governments and corporations think national newspapers only should be patronized for adverts. But from my own experience, I think you reach a wider audience when you advertise in the newspapers. And we hope to correct this mistake as we go along. So we're going to ensure that newspapers, local, I use the word local, in a very restricted sense. In other words, publications in indigenous languages will also benefit from advertisements from government. And this becomes even more important if we are to successfully launch our reorientation campaign. We can't be talking to ourselves. We want to talk to the people. We want to reach the people, and that is why it's important for us. It's in our interest also. We must patronize you. On the 8th of December, I had a press conference during which I sought the support of the media in the war against Boko Haram. That press conference, I appealed for support of the media in particular, that we need to provide the missing component of the war. That the military have done their own. That the military, that they have successfully decimated Boko Haram. That all you have now is what is usual in an insurgency which is on its way out. They now concentrate more on soft targets. And based on that, we also launched a national security awareness campaign, and I want to thank the media for assisting us in this campaign. A few hours ago also, we launched another campaign, this time campaign against corruption. After insecurity, I think the greatest challenge the country has today is corruption. No, in fact, corruption is so linked to everything whether we talk about insecurity, unemployment, decay in infrastructure, high maternal, fatality, and the like. So I've come here, in addition to coming to visit you, choose the opportunity to also please appeal to you to help us in this war against corruption. This war against corruption is not just a war for President Buhari alone. It's a war for all of us. And if you permit me, I will just, read to you, sir, gentlemen, the text of a press conference, which I'm going to leave on for you for translation. Yes. But it will actually, I hope that by the time I finish, be able to see how corruption has actually stifled growth, economic growth, how it is responsible for inequality, how it is responsible for maternal death. So permit me just to go through this text, and I hope by the time I read it, then I'll be able to take further questions. Gentlemen, we are here today because of another patriotic call to duty. We want the media to once again lead the campaign to sensitize Nigerians to take possession of another war, this time the war against corruption. There's the wrong impression out there that the war against corruption is being fought only by President Muhammadu Buhari or the federal government or the governing or progressive Congress. This is the erroneous impression out there, and this is being put out by the beneficiaries and benefactors of corruption. There is also this erroneous impression that the war against corruption is a vendetta against the opposition, that indeed it is one-sided. This is not true. Let us take the latest issue of the $2.1 billion arms deal as an example. One thing is clear, that funds meant to fight terrorism were deployed for the election of the former president. Nobody can deny that. So far, based on what we know, no one who has been accused of partaking in the sharing of the funds has denied receiving the money. All we have had from them are ludicrous reasons why they partook in sharing of the money. One said he collected 4.5 billion naira for spiritual purposes. Another said he received 2.1 billion naira for publicity. While yet another said he got 13 billion naira to pay someone else for the purchase of land for Maritime University. Based on these revelations, would we now fold our hands and allow these people to go away with public funds? Is anyone thinking about the innocent soldiers who lost their lives just because they did not get the necessary weapons to fight the terrorists? What about the families left behind by these soldiers who are sent to the early graves because of the misappropriation of these funds? What about those who lost their means of livelihood after the terrorists overran their towns and villages? What of the millions of Nigerians, especially women and children, who are now living in IDP camps? Is it not clear that the cruel fate that has befallen these unfortunate people is a direct result of the misuse of the funds meant to fight terrorists? Is this not the true cause of corruption? Talking about the cause of corruption, gentlemen, it is time we brought into perspective what corruption has done to our nation, what it has done to our people and our international image. It's time to tell ourselves how corruption has stifled economic growth, how it has hindered the fight against poverty, how it has led to decay in infrastructure, and how it has reduced educational standards, how it has lowered the expectancy, how it has lowered life expectancy, how it has stunted the fight against maternal and infant mortality, and how it has impacted negatively in general livelihood of our people. And that is why we have come here today, to seek your support, to rally, to again rally the fourth estate of the realm to patriotic action. Gentlemen, the situation is very grim, and the time to act is now. For example, between the period of 2006 and 2013, just 55 people allegedly stole a total of 1.34 trillion naira in Nigeria. That sum is more than 1/4 of the 2015 national budget. Out of the stolen funds, 15 former governors allegedly stole 146 billion naira within this period. 4 former ministers allegedly stole 7 billion naira. 12 former public servants, both at federal and state level, between them stole over 14 billion naira. 8 people in the banking industry allegedly stole 524 billion naira, while 11 businessmen allegedly stole 653 billion naira. Now, what do these figures translate to in actual sense? In other words, what is the cost of these stolen funds for Nigerians? Using World Bank rates and costs, if only 1/3 of these stolen funds were to be recovered, it would have provided us with 635 kilometers of double carriage road, to have built us, in addition, 36 ultra-modern hospitals, that is 1 ultra-modern hospital per state. It would have built us 183 schools, to have educated 3,974 children from primary to tertiary level at a cost of 25.24 million naira per student, and to have built 20,062 units of 2-bedroom houses. This is the money that a few people, small fact, just 55 of them in number, allegedly stole within a period of just 8 years. If we are to add what has been stolen between 2013 to date, we'll be talking about at least 3 trillion naira. And instead of national outrage at this, all we hear are these nonsensical arguments that the government is fighting only the opposition, or that the government is engaging in vendetta. Gentlemen, irrespective of your political, religious, or tribal leanings, are not minding whether you belong to the APC, PDP, SDP, or Labour Party, if you have stolen public funds, you will not go scot-free. Everyone and every arm of government must rise up to the challenge and must stand up to be counted in this epic war. And defeat is not an option if our country is to survive. As the president likes to say, if we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill all of us. There is no better way to say it. As I said, everyone and every arm of government must be involved in the fight against corruption, which is one of the cardinal programs of this administration. Irrespective of what anyone may say President Buhari is leading the fight by example and right from the front. His unparalleled integrity, his uncommon love of country, and his undiluted dedication to service all put him in good stead to win this war. And we must all support him, and we must all own the war in order to ensure its success. This is not Buhari's war. This is not APC's war. This is Nigeria's war. Equally critical to the success of the war is the judiciary. Unless this very important arm of government fully joins in waging this war, the pending cases of corruption will just drag on until they outlast this administration, even if it spends 10 years there. In the days ahead, we intend to carry this sensitization program to all the corners of the country, leveraging on the wide reach of the National Orientation Agency. We also intend to partner with other agencies of government, especially the anti-corruption agencies and the police, as well as the Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption. As I said earlier, we will be working closely with the media in this campaign, and we have no doubt that the media will replicate the support they are giving us in the ongoing national security awareness campaign. We have no doubt that if Nigerians know the true cause of corruption to their lives and well-being, they will be less susceptible to swallow the frivolous, self-serving, and orchestrated distractions from the corrupt people and their benefactors. We must kill corruption before it kills us. Gentlemen, this address officially kickstarts our national sensitization campaign against corruption. The campaign will run all through the tenure of this administration. I thank you all for listening. Editor.
On the issue of IDP, the government is contemplating on taking them back to their various villages and towns. And some of them are thinking that it's not yet safe to go back to their various towns. What informed that decision?
No, you see, instruction varies from town to town. Bama, for instance, nobody would think of taking anybody in Bama in the next couple of months because of the scale of destruction in Bama. But if you go to Konduga today, a lot of reconstruction, resettlement is taking place in Konduga. And these towns are better secured also when they are inhabited by people. But the government is not going to send anybody back to its original villages until it is satisfied that adequate security is provided, adequate infrastructure are put in place. And we must commend both the federal government and the Borno state government for their commitment to this reconstruction, resettlement, and rehabilitation. I think about 70% of the budget of Borno state this year is dedicated to the 3 R's of rehabilitation, reconstruction, and resettlement. Some areas, like I said, would benefit earlier than others because of the scale of destruction, but I don't think the government is going to put them back unless the place is safe. But we must also understand that the IDPs today are overflowing, and we must encourage those whose towns beings have been liberated to go back. Some actually had to leave their towns because they were not safe. But with the civil security like police, customs, immigrations, the National Security Defense Council, working in conjunction with the military, and also the Red Cross and other civil sector organizations, I think it's about time we start the rehabilitation process.
Maybe one last question that the issue of corruption, sir. It's the workers also play a vital role in the government. For them to help in fighting corruption, there is a need for them to have a living wage. Is the government doing something to encourage them so that they will not be tempted to be involved in corruption by packaging their pay?
Well, you see, I am not in position to talk about whether there's going to be an increase or not, minimum wage. But what I can say is that if only we fight corruption successfully, there will be more money for everybody. If the leakages can be blocked successfully, I can assure you it won't matter whether oil sells for $10 or $5, be able to run this country efficiently. So you can imagine if only 55 people have wreaked this kind of havoc. What havoc has been wreaked by 500 of them? And these are the ones that were able, all the cases I've mentioned are currently in various courts. So they are not ghosts. They are currently in various courts. Now, if we have 600 kilometers of new roads in Nigeria, that will mean at least 100 kilometers in every geographical zone. It makes a lot of difference. If we have one ultra-modern hospital in each state, it will make a lot of difference. And this is only what 1/3 of those you covered, of the covered literature have done. So, honestly, if we don't really take care of corruption, even the 2016 budget, we're not able to operate it. So what we will find out is that it is these leakages that is making the country to bleed. Is it by accident that between 1999 and today, the budget has been increasing every year, yet poverty has also been increasing? Why? Because of corruption. In 1999, the entire budget was 947 billion naira. In 2016, it is 6 trillion. Has poverty gone down? No. It has increased almost by that margin. Exactly. So that is why it is. You see, the issue of corruption must not be taken like, believe me. We must fight it as we fought Boko Haram, like we fought Ebola. We must fight it to stand still.
Thank you. We are grateful for question, but because as you can see, we have the business people among us. Maybe they want to say something concerning their own.
As you can see, we quite appreciate the effort the government has been making to make Nigeria a better place for everybody. Everybody knows what is happening in the economy. The economy is biting hard, or even not even the poor, even the rich, they are feeling it. And as you can see, we are a media house. We deal in papers. It is when papers are bought that we eat. Occasionally, when we have adverts, we celebrate. So, though you've said it, but we still want to appeal to you. Reporting issues happening every day, I'm sure the Aminiya editorial team will be reporting it as they happen. But we'll be very appreciative if you can support us, possibly maybe kind of a sponsored page every week, center spread, in whatever way you can assist Aminiya. We'll be very grateful. And I'll be very, very glad, not only me, my management, if you can give us the nod to submit a kind of proposal on how to partner with you in this regard. Thank you very much.
The only thing indigenous or local in Aminiya is the language. Look at your building. but on a more serious note, we would look into how we can patronize, newspapers like Aminiya. Because, like I said, it's a win-win situation for all of us. But don't forget also that, like rightly said, the economy is not sparing anybody. Honestly, and the luck Nigeria has is that it has a Buhari today as the president. Believe me, and this is off record please, that we are going to pull soon. So yes, we all said again, in fact, that we can't make any commitments. But what we see, because we also demand of you, there's as your own corruption. So it's going to be people are going to do.
December, when was it? December. Because what you have said is important to Nigeria. And the bottom line, gentlemen, is if Nigeria does well, we all do well. Yes. So we have a complete support from Aminiya, from Daily Trust, from all our publications. Whatever is required, we will do. And of course, we will be coming back to you as your children saying, please support us, which will always happen. But don't worry, whatever we can do from our side, sir, please be rest assured, we will extend. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So we want to thank Aminiya for receiving us. And we do hope that this cooperation will continue and it will be blended. Thank you.